You're going to want to take and resave this several times. So click Save As, and then just keep changing the name until you get to all of the sides saved. You can take and import it from one side, the same one each time, but it seems to work better if you just take and resave it as multiple sides. And since you need 4 of those, I can go ahead and save them all, and then importing them all later. So saving 4 separate copies of the same thing seems to work a little bit better for you. So when you're ready to make your assembly, you're going to go to New, create a new component, make sure it's in your personal space. I'm going to call this one Final Fit Assembly, just so I know what it is. And then I'm going to switch to the Assembly tab, and I'm going to bring in existing components, which looks like this little stair step with the arrow, not with the little star, the one with just the stair steps and the arrow. So I'm going to click that. It's going to go out. It's going to ask me what I want to take and go through. Now, there's a bunch of things out here, so I want to double check and make sure I get the ones that I need. So I'm going to click on the first one, hold the control key, click on the second one, click on the third one, the fourth one. And you're going to see a lot of different things. You want to make sure you grab the right ones that are for you. I put my name in things, so it's easier for me to find them. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. It should bring in all of those pieces for me. So now all of my pieces are inserted. I've got them all where they need to be. You will notice that I created my top and my bottom on the XY plane and the rest of them on the YZ plane. So they're all kind of vertical or horizontal, kind of where they need to be. If you did not do that, this still works. You don't have to take and remake anything, but it's worth your time to try and take and do them on the other ones. It saves you a little bit of time in this step. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take and put these back 2 sides together. And this is a lot like gluing. If you remember doing the mates when we did them inside of SolidWorks, if you've worked in SolidWorks before, this is the same process. And you just kind of figure out where you want to put glue. So I want this kind of tab right here to be glued to the inside of this. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to click with the paperclip to insert my constraint. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click where I want the glue to go on this piece, and then I'm going to rotate around. I'm going to click where I want the glue to go on that piece. So I want it to take and touch right here. So that front part of that tab I want to be on the inside of this. So I'm going to click it. It's going to ask me how I want to connect it. I want to do coincidence so they touch. And then when I click apply and continue, and I may need to do, it kind of flipped the wrong way. So I want this surface and this surface to touch, but unfortunately it's going the other direction. I want it to kind of point towards back the other one. So I'm going to flip this orientation piece. Okay. And go ahead and click apply and continue. And then those 2 things are now set. So the next 2 pieces where I'm going to put glue are here, this surface, and I'm going to rotate around, and it's going to connect to the back surface here. So I'm going to click that, and then those 2 pieces should slide together. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and click apply and continue. So for my next piece, this is kind of facing the wrong way, so I need to do a little bit of adjustment before I can use it. So I'm going to right click on it, and then I have this little kind of double arrow thing. One's kind of in a strange little 3D pattern, and the other one's in a cross pattern. It's called Move with Triad. Go ahead and click that, and then I have lots of different options. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this around 180 degrees, and I want to make sure I go exactly 180, so it's exactly in the position that it needs to be in. So now it's flipped, and it's kind of where it needs to be. This is how if you have parts that are not quite exactly right, you can push them into the orientation that you need to get it to where you need to be. I'm going to go ahead and click that, click off. It's going to leave that part in the right place. Now I can come back in and I can continue the way I was before. So I'm going to take and turn on the mate tool. I'm going to select a side, rotate it around, and then that part would glue right here when I glue them together. Do a coincident mate, click apply and continue. I want to make sure that these, since I've done some rotation, are exactly in the right level position. So I want to select the inside surface here and the top surface here. Those would glue together. So I'm going to zoom in a little so I can see it. Make sure I have a coincident mate on there, and click apply and continue. And then the last one I have is this inside surface is going to be coincident with kind of the inside of this slot. Give it a second to think. It's going to slot that into place, and then I'm going to hit the check mark, and it's going to put it in. Now you're going to continue on until you get everything into place exactly the way you need it. And then we're going to check it out and see what things are not correct. So just finished putting in all my mates and all my constraints in, so everything's good. Looking at my box, everything seems to fit just fine. There's no overlap on any of these gaps. I don't have any overlap or spaces on the corner. So, and then, oops, wait, when I turn around and look at the bottom, looks like I haven't made my piece for the bottom the right size. It's way too small. So rather than messing with it in the assembly, I need to go back to the original part. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. So everything that I have here work-wise is saved, and I can come back to it. I'm going to come over here, click Open, and I'm going to look for the Waterson base, because that's the name of mine. So I'm going to put the base of mine. So, and then I'm going to open up that base. So I'm going to click that, open with xDesign. And then I need to go back in and figure out what's wrong with my drawing and figure out why. So I'm going to go back into my original sketch. I'm going to edit my original sketch. Switch some on normal 2. And see where I'm at. And oh, it looks like this is going to be my problem. So this and this are the wrong size. So actually what I need is my dimension from this end to my midpoint line should be half of my total height, which is 4.5, and instead it's 3. So I'm going to put in a dimension there to make that 3, and then come back over here, do the same thing on this side, make this one 4.5. So I'm going to switch that 4.5 or that 3 to 4.5 on both of them. Hit the check mark. It's going to rebuild my part. I'm going to save my part, and then hopefully when I come back over to my assembly, all my parts are updated in the right size. Now it's a little bit off in size, which is fine. I just need to take and fix some of the meats in there and get it put back in. So I'm going to put this one here, and then one there. To slide it into place, click Apply and Continue, and then my entire box is finished and ready to be checked.